It's here. We're here. Whew, agree to disagree talk. Man, thank you guys for tuning in. First of all, we had a wonderful show last week. Really excited for the things coming up next year. But as we do on every show, thus far, we're going to hit that disclaimer, Jay, because guess what? We ain't got time for people being in their feelings.
No, we don't.
And I think people are going to be in their feelings tonight. You and your topics. But,
Hey,
you
look,
know, like
if I don't get them started, who will?
Right. Well, like we always say, agree to disagree talk. This show is geared towards the educated, empowering, and implementation of voices, thoughts, and points of views from whom, by society and sometimes self standards, way of thinking are oftentimes misheard, misunderstood, and badly misrepresented. By no means does this show wish to offend anyone outside the black male perspective. That'd be me, that'd be he, that'd be we. And tonight we can't speak for everybody. We also want to don't speak for our hosts, our guests when we do have them. We wish to raise attention and awareness of this through our controversial topic of discussion, which is tonight, baby. Attempting to change perception from an us versus them to a me against the world attitude to levels of self awareness, self evolution, and self accountability in the hopes of making it a better world and place to live for us all. Ladies and gentlemen, late as it may be, we here, Agree to Disagree Talk. Episode number 12 is on the docket.
Sorry for the delay,
Yes,
but we here.
but we here. Whew.
So, y'all know, call in line. Let me go ahead and give y'all this number right now. It's 323-577-7630. What the topics we got going. Call in and give your opinion. You can go ahead and call, or write it down on the live stream, and we'll read them off. Some of them, but that number again is 323-577-7630. What's up, man? How was your week, bro?
My week was actually good. I had busy week. Had a lot going on. I actually had to do some parenting and take my cat to the vet, and it was a eye-opening experience. I've had my cat for she's 11, and so I've never really, had to do anything other than her shots and get her spayed. But I started noticing that she'd been losing weight and her eating habits were different. So I took her to a vet last month, and they was talking about just $200 just to see her. And I was just like, man, but thank God there was a shelter that assisted me in my needs. I took her, I got a voucher to get her checked out, some medicine, took her to the actual hospital, the pet hospital, and they hooked her up. They gave her her blood work. Come to find out, she has some form of overthyroid gland. So my poor baby's gonna be on medicine for the rest of her life. But whew, man, thank God for places and people who know things that can assist. So that was really an eye-opening experience. If you really want some good pet information, hit me up and I'll give you their information. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty good. What about you, sir?
Okay, okay, yo, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Glad you joined us. My week was cool, man. Just put in work. Um, I'm doing theater right now, so put in work with the cast of the play and making sure I got my lines down packed, making sure I'm off books, meaning script down, meaning no needing for my paper, meaning I know my stuff
Right. As you should.
as I should. This is what I do for a living. This is my life. I am
Right.
an actor, and I love it. But outside of that, just my grind, make my money.
Wait, hold on one second. We got some. Yeah, Janet Jackson feedback.
One more.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Testing, testing. So, yeah, we're really excited tonight. We're going to bring you a topic straight off of my co-host, Mr. Jake Johnson's personal page. But before we do that, I want to say
Hello, hello,
congratulations. What?
hello, hello. Sorry.
That's
All
okay.
right.
We this is a hot topic tonight. Hey Derek, but tonight I just want to say congratulations to the recent history has been made again. Now we have in the top 5 beauty categories and pageants of the world, all the women are black African American women. So now we just have the newly crowned Miss World, Miss Torianne Sign. I hope I'm saying her name right. joining the ranks of Miss USA, Miss Chelsea Kirst. We also have Miss Teen USA, Miss Kylie Garris, Miss America, Miss Nia Franklin, and the recently crowned before the Miss World, Miss Universe, Zozabini Tuzi. So that's a big accomplishment. Women are running things, and it's so ironic that we're talking about women running things because guess what tonight's topic is? Mr. Jake, take it away.
So, I put a status on Facebook about 3 days ago, maybe, and it's just a question. I'm not going to read it verbatim, but I'll paraphrase. Basically,
Why don't it's better if you try to, or at least get as much possible so they
well,
can
I,
get
I
the
mean,
full meaning.
I know what it is off top,
Yeah.
pretty much. So if we notice, like coming up, we so used to hearing rappers and whatnot calling women, in their songs bitches and stuff like that. So lately, there's this movement. I would like to say a movement or a wave, whatever you want to call it, to where guys just started calling, women. I'm speaking about black women, queens. Queens, hey queen, how you doing, queen? Nah, queen, thank you. Oh, my beautiful black queen, queen this, queen that. So I put a status on Facebook because I started noticing, I started seeing statuses, and some of my lady friends will talk to me and they'd be like, "Yo, man, I don't like when these dudes be calling me queen." What? And then I'll see some statuses like, "Yo, I think it's mad corny when these guys be saying queen." What? Man, talk to me for a minute, ladies. Let me holler at y'all real quick because I need to understand because I'm still not understanding even with the so-called explanations
Right.
in my status,
Right.
on my status. I'm still not. I'm not understanding.
Right. But Jay, I don't think it's restarting because again that's a big thing that they used to do in the 70s and the early 90s. So it stopped for a while because of the I guess you would say the misogyny of women, the downgrading, but then also the accountability of the women who like to be called bitches and hoes. We're not going to exclude that. And again, before we get started, none of us on this panel are women. So we cannot say what women think or feel. If you are a woman who has a problem or a different point of view, feel free to call in to input what you're saying. But until then, you're going to hear the perspective of these two black men sitting right here. That's all I got to say. Because I can already, you know, don't talk about it, be about it. So if that's not how you proclaim or that's not how you feel, then say something. But again, you have two black men sitting here. We cannot speak for black women. I have my opinion on why it's a problem, as well as Mr. Jake. So again, if you are a black woman, whether you're on his feed or my feed or whatever the case may be, please chime in because we can use your input on this particular topic.
Because I need y'all to help me understand.
Right.
What is it? Because I actually like the fact that, you know, you guys are being called queens now. I really do feel like every black woman is a queen, And I'm only speaking about blacks because, well, that's what I am. I'm a black man.
Right.
So, I really feel like every black woman is a queen. And if a man approach you and address you as queen, I don't care if you think he's mad corny or I don't care if you think he's running game or whatever that corny stuff people was putting in my on my status. I love y'all, but it was still corny. I think that's whack. I
It,
think it's
wa-
whack. And the fact it's
it
like
was corny to
it
say it
makes
was
me
corny.
no, it makes me feel like, yo, are you ever satisfied? Like, what can we do to please you? You heard that?
Yeah, I heard the
God damn,
popping the
please. You know what I'm
beads.
saying?
Right.
What can we do to please y'all? Like, because if we call you queen, some of y'all like, don't call me queen, or I don't like that. When we call you bitch, then it's like, yo, well, I don't like that. I mean, I get it. Okay, so just call you your name. But when it's an amazing word like, damn, my black queen, or dang, black queen, how you doing? Or let me hold the door for you, queen. You know what I'm saying? That's like, yo, I really feel like you should be honored. Because he ain't got to call you queen. We
Right.
heard plenty of other words. Something with that P, huh?
Yes, you got to
We
watch
heard
that.
we heard plenty of other words and names that they could call you. You know what I'm saying? But if a young man, somebody said to me, I don't know if it was on the phone or on my status, I'm not sure. They said, if the man don't know your name, and let's say he simply want to hold the door for you, if the man don't know your name, he say, let me get that door for you, queen, or my black queen. Why why are you saying don't call me that? Yo, the brother don't know your name, but at least he addressed you as a queen. Y'all don't like to be called females. That's what you are. Y'all don't like to be called females. Don't like to be called bitches, which is understandable. You don't. Nah, some of y'all don't like to be called queen. I need some help. Malay just said, I
Hey,
think it's respectful. Yes.
right. But you also, and what I put on your page at that time is that you have to understand that with that being called a queen, it's a certain accountability. And so, unfortunately, some young women, some older women, may not have are used to being called a queen. And so, again, you have some people who are used to being called the negative, the derogatory, and that fits well with them.
That makes no
So
sense.
it doesn't, but that's some people's mentality. That's just like we went from being colored to Negro to African American. All those things took a
And none of those,
time.
but none of those words are uplifting. None
Right.
of them.
So we had to individually, you have some, I mean, it's again, the name of the show, I do a play off of words, but it's claims, names, and compliments. So we have some people in a different generation who are used to being called Negroes, who don't want anything else but to be called colored. And so unfortunately, we've taken what has been demeaning to us and tried to turn it around, just like we've taken nigga, Nigga. It was Nigger. That was derogatory. That was, used to put us down. But somehow we turned that around. That's just like in the gay sector. Some people like being called faggots. I particularly don't. You know,
Every single, and not to cut you off, man, but every single name you just gave, not one was uplifting. Queen, I love when a black woman call me king. I love that, yo. I love it. I don't say, yo, you mad corny. You know, I don't say that. I don't be like, yo, shorty trying to holler, shorty trying to spit game. Nah, it's the fact that she addressed me as a king instead of a nigga. She could have easily been like, what's up, nigga? She could have easily said that. But now she said, what's up, queen? I mean, what's up, king? You know what I'm saying? Just like these dudes could be like, what's up, bitch? But they like, nah, what's up, queen? Black queen?
but you also have some people that be like, "Hey, nigga." Let's not exclude those who.
But I'm only talking about the uplifting names,
Right,
though.
but we
Names that
can't.
are,
But we can't acknowledge that people who don't like to be called queen or those who do. It's again, it's unfortunately there again. There's derogatory terms like I hate the word queer. It irritates the fuck out of me. But there are some people who have taken power in that and they've made it and they'll rationalize. Oh, I'm queer, or oh, I'm this, that, and the other. So again, we have to be aware I know it's like now you have to walk around with like you go to those little meetings and things and you got the little label right here that says my name is it should be like a little flap underneath that says my pronoun is blah blah blah. This is what you should call because you
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 don't know
try
what to
to
call nobody.
right. We have George King that says, "Hey George, what's up? It's patronizing to some. Also, the choices available aren't queen or bitch. That is
Okay,
true. It can
right,
be seen as
right,
patronizing.
right,
That's
but
just like I talk to women. I talk and I may use sweetie, dear, or honey as a term of endearment, and I've had to really be cautious of that because to some that may be offensive. I'm coming from a place of love and admiration, but to some, being called sweetie, honey, dear, it may be I'm demeaning, and as a gay man, I still am still a man, so they may find that offensive.
like I feel like, I mean, who was that, George?
Yeah,
George, thank you for your comment. I get it, but at the same time, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Because granted, yes, there's other terms available than bitch and queen and sweetie and sweetheart and honey and love and boo and babe and I get it. But for this show, we talking about queen.
right.
I get that there's other words. It's just I'm just still trying to understand. Like I put, at the end of my status, I said if black men were to call another race, and I see some of you guys' comments, I'll read them in a minute. I said if black men was to call another race of women, it's white, but you got white, Asian, Hispanics, whatever, another race of women, queen, would it be an issue to the black woman?
Yes. Well,
You know it would be.
I'm
You
gonna say
know it would be.
yes. And again, we're not women. We don't speak for women. But at this point, there's two men right here, and I will say that's the. it's not even a thing. It's the ego thing. That's just like when a man of color dates outside of his
I didn't want to
race.
say it, but you did.
I
Yep,
did
that's right.
because we're going to talk about it, and again, it's the same thing. We have to remove ego, and I've had to learn that. And I told you that earlier. I've had the experience of when I used to see gay men, black men of color, especially celebrities, and they would come out of the closet and it seemed like they would only go towards another person of that's not color, and it used to bug me. And until I really sat down, until one of my friends who was a celebrity had that conversation and I watched his video, I really began to see the derogatory things that I used to say. And I had to really step back and was like, wow, the same thing he's saying or trying to justify his like for another race is how I've had to justify my attraction to another man, to a heterosexual. And I really had to step back, and it didn't become personal again until my associate, my friend, was one of those celebrities who had come out of the closet, and he only likes Asians. So I get it. We have to move our ego out of the way when it comes to a person's individual like and what they like.
Well, Season says, perhaps not all women are worthy. You're right. I
That is
think you
true.
said something like that.
Yeah, I did
On my
because
status. Yeah.
right. I said that because to be called a queen again, they may not feel worthy. They may have like for a long time, it wasn't. I had not that good of experience as a black man in my family. They were good to an extent for things taken care of, but I had no positive representation. So I didn't want to be attached to anything as a black man. I embrace my femininity because I saw the strong women in my family. And so I think it may come from a place of that because being a queen means you reigning, you're lifting yourself up, you look to empower other people. And if a person has been beaten down individually, personally, or they have nothing else but used to be called a bitch and a hoe, then that term may not be fitting for that person. So there's more to it than just the surface.
So Leisure says, well, she's saying what should they call them, but she says, what should they then if they don't know your name? Hey, you? Yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, I get it. I put it, it's like this. It's like today you can't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can't say, hey, beautiful, because then you're trying to run game. You can't say, hey, gorgeous, because then you're trying to run game. You can't say, hey, queen, because it's mad corny. It's like, I hate to say this, but y'all, you women, y'all leave me to say something like this. It's like when I see a black man and a white woman, I always see my black sis. I always hear like my lady friend say, "Oh man, this is their voice." You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how to do this. Like it'd be like, "Oh man, that white man be treating her."
That sounds like a white man.
Maybe like that white man be treating her like a queen, treating her good, but the black man wanna no, shut up. I'm telling you from my heart, shut up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so tired of hearing that
But
because
do you see where ego is taking place in that statement?
yeah, but it's so hard to hear to know that women have egos. I know they do, but it's hard to hear that.
Yeah,
But
we all have egos.
I know we do. But it's just it makes me so mad because I just heard that. Like, man, I know that. Go get you a white man. I know that white man, gonna treat you like this, or oh, they look happy. But if she got him a black man, well, a friend of mine said, real quick. I want y'all to let me know how y'all feel about this. She said somebody who she just recently spoke with was with a white man. And the white man was paying all the bills, taking care of everything, treating her like royalty, like a queen. Said them two broke up. She got with a black man, and he was talking about, we gonna go half and half on the rent, half and half on the bill. And she was like, "Yo, what is this? What is this?"
He was speaking another language
he,
to her.
he was speaking another language. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, y'all got me all thrown off right now. I just need somebody, the
Right,
number
can we-
323-577-7630. Otherwise, y'all gonna hear two black men keep talking about black women if y'all not gonna put y'all your 2 cents in. So,
and then my perspective as a same-sex attracted man is a little bit different. But again, you already know what my stance is. Either you want chivalry or you want independence. You can't pick both. Hashtag bitch pick a struggle.
they don't want to. They want both. Three,
And
two,
that's
three.
not fair to you guys.
They don't give a damn.
That
They don't care, bro.
I see how my female friends I don't know. It's a different disconnect. I'm 40 years old, so I come from a generation where the women are proud, and it's a different generation than the 20 somethings. But we, and I'll say we because I also have gay friends and stuff like that. We have to look at what we want in a relationship. We sit there and we have this long laundry list of what we want, what they need to have, what they shouldn't have. But quiet is kept. If we were to take that same piece of paper and turn it around, would we be able to date ourselves? That's the question that we as individuals should start asking ourselves. If you want a partner who makes six figures, how can you fix your lips to say that when you don't even make two? We have to be accountable again for the things that we say and we put in the universe. We have to ask ourselves again. And that's why I'm not dating. Quiet as kept. That's one of the many reasons why I'm not dating, because there's all these lists. The body has to be this way, the looks have to be this way, and yet you look like Shrek in a wig. I don't get it. You have to understand that the world is equal. It should be equal, regardless if it's a man, man, woman, woman, man, woman, whatever the case may be. What you want in a relationship should be the same thing you're able to put into that relationship. You pour into it what you want. If you want a hardworking man, then you be that hardworking person before you get that man. The partner, in my opinion, is to complement what you already have going on in life. Not to add, not to subtract, but to add to what you have, but in the sense that you're doing the same thing.
You want to read yours and I'll take care of
Yeah. What's up, Lewis? Lewis says some women feel like they're damaged goods and don't have more confidence to feel like a strong woman.
Then let
That
us
is
give
very
you
true.
confidence. Let
That
us
is
build
true.
you up.
But that's not an overnight process,
It's
Jay.
not, but you got to start somewhere. Crumbs make pies. You, in order to make a pie, you got to start with a crumb.
We're
Let us start somewhere. Is what I'm saying.
right, but we're talking about people who are damaged. We're all damaged in a way. We all have self-esteem issues. We're not, and
Oh,
so
somebody's. We didn't even know you was calling.
no, I didn't.
You got a new number?
No, it's the same. Oh, let me see. Tell them to call again.
Call. Go ahead and call. Call again. 323-577-7630. We'll get to the comments on my on this side over here. Uh, Ms. Monte, go ahead and call again. Three two
Sorry about
three.
that. I just got a new phone.
All right. 323-577-7630. Go ahead and call back.
Hope it's working.
I don't know what the delay is. How long the delay is? So I don't know what she.
Let me see if I can call her.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we have a caller coming in, so we are just taking a quick 20-second. 323-577-7630. Leisure Monte, call back.
Oh, she said she ain't calling now. I'm sorry
Oh.
about that.
Oh, all right, well. All right, so
Just got a new phone, so. But I get what Lewis said, and that's the thing that I said too in your comment, is that some people don't feel worthy of a queen, or they may have mommy issues, just like we got daddy issues and things like that, or they're so used to being called. I mean, we got, what is this, hot girl summer going on? You know, the ratchets,
Thought Girl Summers.
thought girl, whatever that this is that generation that embraces that bitch, hoochie hood rat, culture. And so anything outside of that is foreign to them. And so it may sound something corny like coming to America, oh, you're my queen, all that kind of shit like that. I see that as well too. But that's not everybody. You have to be open and receptive and use discernment when someone calls you that.
Ms. Martin says, if you don't know my name and you have to call me something, I would much rather it be queen than anything else. If you look up any of the other words you have mentioned, they all have negative definitions. Queen is the only word mentioned with a positive meaning. We come from kings and queens, so why be offended?
Right.
A lot of people don't believe that we come from kings and queens. They think we come from just slave boats and
They don't even think that their grasp of knowledge doesn't even go that far back. Unfortunately, there are some people who can just currently see what's in pop culture and in music. They don't see the heritage. They don't see that on these shoulders we stand. We're standing on a lot of shoulders, allowing us to be the bitches, the thoughts, the thugs, all that stuff that we are today for people who are no longer here, who have marched, who have worked hard for us to be here. And they don't see that it's a mutual respect. You don't have to know somebody to respect the struggle they went through.
Season says it's not about race. All queens exist throughout the world. It's about mannerism and exalting the woman you love, regardless of race.
Right. I want to say when I started performing in drag, and people would ask me, well, why do you want to be a woman, or are you making fun of women? And I would tell them, is I'm honoring the women that, and I can only speak for myself. Other drag queens do it for other reasons. I was brought up by strong black women. And so I wanted my character to emulate that. As you can see from my pictures, and I'm lucky enough, I don't look like a man in a dress. That's because I've taken on the mannerisms, the qualities of what is, I am not a natural born female, but I believe that the qualities of a woman, not a female, because I've said it before, not every male is a man, and not every female is a woman. Those are things that you acquire to be. You can't help being male or female. That's gender, that's birth.
I look, but I mean, watch that female word. You know they don't want to be called that.
Well,
They get offended. Don't
but
call them female.
you can't
But I
call-
agree. Not every
right.
woman, not every female is a woman.
and
You're
not
right.
every male is a man.
So
Those
we just
are
call you
things-
girls and
right.
boys. How about that?
So I take what I do very seriously because I'm honoring the women and the queens in my life, not to offend, not to make joke. And again, I'm only speaking for myself. So I see why some women don't want to be called queens, or they don't know what it's like to be held in that honor.
I still don't. And if a woman don't call in and try to help me
You just
understand,
gonna hear
then
all of us all day long.
you know what I'm saying? I guess
and
I
don't
just
sit-
won't understand this one
Right.
because it's so difficult trying to understand why such a positive name is. You wouldn't want to be called that, or you think a guy or a man is running game when he call you queen. Maybe it's just a sign of respect. Maybe just he respects you as what you really are, what your ancestors were.
And if he is running game, y'all use y'all women intellect
And if he is
catch him
running
in the
game,
game.
at least he ain't say, "Hey, yo, ma." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, shorty. Yo,
like,
bitch.
that is, like, so tacky.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't saying that. I used to say all that, but I ain't never really said the whole bitch stuff. But, yo,
You
shorty.
used to call people ma.
Yeah, I still do.
Right.
Whoever I'm involved with, that's ma. Not mom, that's ma. I still call him ma.
Right,
That's
'cause
ma.
you-
That's
like,
always going to be
You
ma.
got to be, well, don't call them young ma, because that's a whole different, that's a whole, and you can't call everybody daddy. You seen that from that video.
That was funny,
That, I still, Myra, you're a slut just like your mother.
Yeah.
That is like the fun. I don't know if y'all ever seen it, but it was some girl named Myra. I guess she was calling her sugar daddy, whatever the case may be. So she must have said Siri called daddy. Siri called her birth daddy, and she doesn't even notice. She in the corner. She turned around, shaking that ass and just getting it. And her daddy's like, Myra, Myra. Myra turned around and looked. This bitch trying to pretend like the phone had froze. The daddy's like, Myra, the chains is still moving, stupid. I'm going to give me a shirt that says, Myra, you're a slut just like your mother. But yeah, I had to go off. Again, don't come back later, a week later, 2 days later, saying y'all don't speak for women. Where the women at?
Yo, don't do that. Don't do that because we trying to right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And again, this is episode 12. We've been here for 12 weeks. I'm starting to call people out because people have so much to say. Oh, y'all should talk about this and do that. Where you at? Either our inboxes are open all the time. The phone line is open all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here for you as well, but don't sit on the sideline and keyboard gangster and tell us what we should and shouldn't do if you're not participating. Producer Paul. Any input? What's your take on the whole thing with women's?
All right, hold up. I got to tag in here. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the rules are always changing, and there's no consistency. But that's any group of people. You're like, just agree on something. But it's like, it's always going to vary from person to person. So, what I say is I'll just apologize if they don't receive it the right way and
Right.
go about my business.
That's all we can do. Life is a teaching moment. Unfortunately, some of us are not at that level, but if we allow ourselves to be taught and understood, it's a teaching moment. We're not always going to say the right things. We're not always going to do the right thing. But if you're receptive, and again, try to go back to the ancient proverb or principle of what people say. Try to treat people the way you want to be treated. There was an issue that I had when somebody made a post a couple of weeks ago. I calmly told them, hey, this is, offensive to a group of people. I could have did the whole, oh, you're homophobic and all kind of stuff like that. But number one, I'm too old for that. Also, I know the people and I know them personally. And again, they did as I hoped. We as adults, we talked, they apologized, and they took it down. Hold on, we got
We
a
got a
call coming
caller.
in. You are on the air with Agree to Disagree Talk. How are you today?
What's up? What's up?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
Oh, we're
Oh, pretty
fabulous.
solid. Thanks for asking.
Who might you be, ma'am? Excuse me, I was about to say sweetie. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm a positive person, so I don't get affected by, different things. I feel like if you're already in a negative headspace, then when someone comes at you in a certain way, regardless of what they call you, you're going to take it in a negative way.
Right.
What's your
So,
What's your name?
I feel like some people have to be positive, more positive in the world, and then maybe they won't be so offended by certain things, like something so small.
Right.
Something so small like
Because
calling women queen, right?
Yeah, because there's so many other things that anyone could call you. I just think that with the era that we live in right now, being so over sexual and accepting to negative names, it's just that, people are just offended by anything nowadays. You
Mm.
just really can't win. So I would hate for a man that is calling a woman queen to get discouraged and not want to call her that just because he's afraid of the reaction he's going to get. I think that you have to continue being positive and using that type of positive name so that we can change, the way that people are seeing themselves. Because honestly, it's the way you see yourself.
Right.
I agree.
Right, 100%. It's we have to step aside again. We have to move our egos out of the way. Everyone, again, we said it. Jake has said it. I have said it. Everyone's so sensitive,
Oh my God,
and
you gotta apologize for
Yeah,
every damn thing now.
again, if you are in
exactly.
that,
And that's definitely not something you should have to apologize for.
I'm sorry
Calling
for calling
someone a
you queen.
queen, it's like,
I apologize for calling you queen. Like that sounds dumb. That just sounds dumb. That sounds stupid.
but again,
it
if that
does.
person is in
Like
and
I
not the
said, we come
space,
from kings and queens.
right. But
So,
they have made these individuals may have missed that lesson because they were so over centralized. And so sometimes we're so desensitized that we don't know anything but bitch trick, all the negative, and that when someone wants to do something positive or come at us in a positive way, we don't know how to respond because that's what we're used to.
Who's calling?
exactly, because with the songs and the things that you're seeing on Instagram, a lot of negative names have become the norm. So it's like, oh, I'm this, like you said, hot girl summer and all these types of things. I would much rather be called a queen than a bitch or a hoe or a thought or, people post on there thoughtlicious. I don't want to be thoughtlicious. I'd rather be beautiful.
Right. Can you give us your name?
Talia,
Talia. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
just trying to get, but again, thank you. So
you're welcome.
if you could give an advice to a man who is going through this, which is Jake, what would your advice be? And if you could give your sisters some advice, what would that be?
To Jake, it would be don't be discouraged by, the one or two women that may be giving you this negative feedback. Even if it's a lot of women, you can't, there's going to be that one woman that maybe does accept it or maybe needed it that day. So you can't, you can't punish others for someone else's, I guess, being stupidity, not wanting to be or see themselves in that way, or just continue to do that and uplift women opposed to going the opposite way and say, well, since you don't want to be called queen, I'm gonna go back to bitch or whatever it is. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't be that guy. And to women, I would just say be more open to men and give them a chance. We don't always, every guy doesn't have, a another motive behind what he's doing all the time. Just take it for what it is, continue on. And if he is trying to, use it as, a way in, if you're not down for it, just say you're not down for it. Respond in the right way because the last thing you want to do is embarrass a man or hurt his feelings, because then you will get the word you're not looking for.
Right.
Preach, preacher.
Well, thank you so very much. And it's sad that some people, again, they rather be looking for the bag and call those negative things. And again, it puts a pause on a person when the positivity comes in.
Exactly. I'm all about positivity and putting it out there in the universe. So
Okay.
Better
stay
say it.
positive and you'll get what you want back. That's all I have to say.
Amen. All right. Thank you so very much for
Thank you.
tuning in.
Have a good night, guys.
You too.
Thank you. It goes back individual accountability. We can't place the blame or a whole group of people on the misdeeds of few. We have to stop doing that as people. I know all people who are non-African American or black are not all racist. I know people who are heterosexual who are not all homophobic. But again, those are life's teaching moments where we can sit out and teach another person or be open to another person and how they perceive us. And the negative, again, I've said it many of times, if both of us are yelling at each other, then nobody's being heard. If I'm talking to you as an adult, Jake, this is what you've said that has offended me, or I don't agree with what you have to say, you won't hear me if I'm screaming at the top of my lung, if, for instance, I'm being that negatory, derogatory name, because in that moment, I'm being not human. I'm taking my insecurities, my fears, all those things that came from just the misdirection of what was said and placing it all on you in that moment. And we, people, you, I, us, we all have to stop that. It's not necessary.
You got to.
Yeah. So Jermaine, what's up, Jermaine, my love? Says thank you for creating a platform for women to speak their mind. It's just a platform for all of us to speak. I'm glad. Again, thank you, Jake, for helping me with my dream on getting this opportunity because you don't see it all the time. But it's just a platform for people to share intellectual conversations, talking with each other and not at each other. You also said, Jermaine, that maybe this is a hot button topic that women don't fully understand their feelings or thoughts about the topic. That is true because, again, we had one beautiful woman who called in because, again, up until that moment, you heard us gentlemen speaking on what we think and what we know. And again, in that instance, they'll go back and say, well, y'all don't understand, y'all don't speak for us. This was your opportunity. Anytime there's an opportunity to speak for whatever group that you are, take that opportunity. If you're the only person in that room, over the 40 years of my life, I've been the only black, the only gay, the only this and the only that. And I've used those moments to teach other people, number one, how to treat me, but then also how not to treat me. And hopefully they walked away with a better understanding. Oh, I've had it all the time. Oh, you're cool for a black person, or you're cool for a gay person. I'm just cool for Armond Anderson-Bell.
Okay, we got someone that wants to call in. She's a regular caller. The number is 323. I know she's about to go off my head, but the number is 323-577-7630. 323-577-7630. Come on, Chelsea, go ahead and call in. You already know that's somebody who disagreed with me on the status, so I knew she would call in. 323-577-7630. We would love to hear your take.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it. We love you all. You know what I'm saying? We couldn't do it without you. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for blowing your horn out there. Thanks for the phone calls. Again, the number is 323-577-7630. And we wait.
Yeah, I'm trying to get.
There it goes.
Thank you for calling. You are on with Agree to Disagree Talk.
What's up?
You already know who this is. This is Chelsea.
Hello, my dear, my queen, if that's okay.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay with her. You can't call her that. No, it's not okay. You saw my
No,
status?
you can call me that. You can call me that because I know it's coming from a genuine place.
Well, thank you.
So Armand, yes, you can call me that.
Jay can't.
I ain't called her that anyway. So go ahead. What's your take?
You know, I just tuned into the show, so I don't have the full context of where you guys were in the conversation, but just kind of building on how I know Jake feels about this topic and how I feel about this topic. It is not that, and I can't speak for other women, but me personally, it's not that I do not like to be called queen. I think it is a compliment, and I think it is rightfully so, because I view men, specifically black men, as kings. I think y'all are royalty. However, there are a lot of men, black men, who are clowns, who overuse the word and try to use it as a gateway to, and excuse my language, like get the draws. They looking for a way in. And so they will literally use that word at the end of every sentence. And you looking at them like, hey, you a whole clown. Like, because you're not meaning it in a sense of, I'm truly acknowledging you as a black woman, as a woman that I cherish, that I honor. You're using it because you think that that is like a keyword that's going to hit a soft spot that's going to get me like, ooh, you think I'm a queen. Like, no, you're a clown.
Right.
And that's why a lot of women shy away from it. Because, like, you're using it as a pickup line, not as a way to connect and relate to your counterpart. So that's why a lot of women at this point look at it in a condescending way, like, what are you trying to do here? And that's what I was trying to relay to you, Jake, on your status a couple days ago. But things get lost in translation.
Right.
You know, I'd say this. I guess that really depends on the type of man you entertain. What I mean by that is a guy like, let's just say somebody like me. If I approach a woman and I call her queen, she's probably going to hear that word twice, that name twice. It's not going to be after every sentence. I think we know what kind of dudes are saying it after every sentence, as you say. You know what I'm saying? And if he has that much time to be entertained by a woman, I'm not going to say by you, but by a woman, then I feel like that says a lot about the woman who's letting it, keep going, who's letting them continue the conversation. I mean, women do not have a problem cutting a guy or cutting anything short. So if a guy is coming at you saying queen after every sentence, whether it's in person or whether it's via text, via Facebook or whatever, y'all know how to end it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how
I'm
to end it.
talking about face-to-face interaction.
Okay, so face to
I'm not
face.
talking
So
about
so let's
emojis.
let's go face to face. And let's say I'm that guy. Yo, Queen, how you doing, Queen? Gosh, Queen, you look good. I just want you to know that you are a queen. As a woman, I'm sure y'all can be like, excuse me, young king. You really don't gotta call me queen after every sentence. I appreciate you acknowledging me as a queen, but my name is such and such.
So
And then,
that's
and
you.
then, and
But
then, and then, and then, let's see how he react. Based on how he react.
let's not see how he reacts.
Okay, well then at
Let's
that point,
talk about
so that's
the
my point.
reality.
By you saying let's not see how he react, that means you should know how to cut it short, right?
Listen, it's easy to say what you're saying, being a man, but let's talk about the reality of people's fragile ass egos
That's why you.
not being able to handle rejection, regardless of whether you're nice about it or not. Because there is a large amount of men who you cannot say no to or say that you're good or no thank you without them snapping on you, which is why I actually have a Google number where I don't have to answer it because a man will ask me for my number, and I know if I say no, large there's a large chance that he is going to snap. I'm going to be called out of my name. There have been men who have threatened me, been ready to fight me. So as opposed to going down that road, have a fake number. And if you want to call me on the spot, you can do that because it's going to go through. And then after that day, I will never talk to you. But y'all have to know the seriousness and the danger in rejecting these fragile egos that exist in this generation.
Right. And that's a two-way street. Ego again, it's always coming up, but ego is not about race, gender, or
It's not
sexuality.
because a man can
It,
turn a woman
It's
down and she
not.
call
right.
him gay real quick.
We again as people have to step back whenever one of my favorite principles of the higher power, my understanding, is discernment. And with discernment, it gives us the ability to see things as they are, as opposed to how we are in our feelings. A lot of times we're in our feelings. We have to step back, but that takes personal work, that takes inventory, that takes self-reflective. Again, Jake and I got on this level because I saw the comments on his page. I didn't know him at the time, but I had an idea that he wasn't that homophobe or he wasn't that person, And so again, we have to look at the situation. We can't blanket a group of people over the misdeeds of a few.
Talia says, "Amen, Chelsea.
We
Some
can't
Hold on,
say
Jake.
that.
Go
What
ahead.
you say, Jake?
okay. I'm just reading a comment. That was towards you. She says, "Amen, Chelsea. Some dudes don't understand. No, Talia, you're the same one who just called first, who said it is based on how you let a man down. The end of your call, you said it is based on how you or how you let a man down, because the way you let a man down will determine if he calls you the other names outside of queen. You just said that. I really feel like if you really let a man down, Gene, like, you know what, I really do appreciate you.
No, Jake, that's just you. You're speaking from your own personal account. There are people that I have been super nice to. And I mean, you know me personally, so you may feel a different way. But I'm very intentional in the way that I interact with certain men because you can pretty much tell the caliber of man that you're dealing with. So you know whether you need to be super nice so they know that there's no offense that is trying to be made. But you're telling it from your own account. And just now you made a comparison like, oh, well, if a man turn a woman down, she'll call him gay. Like, yes, that's disheartening, but that's not the end of the world. You cannot compare. That's not apples to apples. Me calling you gay because you turned me down is very different than a man threatening me or physically harming me because I'm like, I don't want to give you my number. I don't want to spend any extra time on this. You have to realize that there are women in the world who have been killed because they don't want to talk to somebody.
Right.
I'm not obligated to do anything for you.
And that's very true. And
Not a
that's
thing.
something that we as people should talk about. Again, when we move outside of our egos, our fragility, our feelings being hurt, then we can see the person. I may try to holler at you, but again, I may be saving myself from, things like that. We have to see that, and we're not allowing ourselves. These are conversations that need to be had all over the board.
So like as a man, I really can't I don't see it from the way you see it, Chelsea, and the other women on the stream. So I really don't have I can't come
So,
back to that. I could
Yeah,
just
I'm
take that
not
and I could learn and like
sometimes it's just
understand
like
that.
listening.
right.
Say that again.
I said sometimes it's just listening. Like, I don't
That's the
expect you to
simplest
have
of
an answer
these.
because that's not your experience.
Right. That's the simplest things we can do. Anybody do as people is listen to another person. Again, I may not understand why you call the sky blue when I call it turquoise, but I'm going to listen to you because at that moment I'm acknowledging you saying, well, it's a different shade. At the end of the day, but we don't listen to each other as people. Again, this show transcends race, gender, all that stuff because I want people to listen and talk to each other and be accountable for the things that we either do or we don't do. Thank you,
Thank you,
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Appreciate appreciate that.
No, thank
Thank you
you.
for listening every week too. Desi, call in. Desi, I
We got
want
like 5 minutes, you
we
guys.
got 5 minutes, Desi. I want your input, bro. 323-577-7630. You said you got a lot to say about this, so three two
Thank you,
three
Chelsea.
577-7630. Thank you, everybody, for your comments, for your
Thank you,
calls,
guys.
for
And
tuning in every week. Our faithful viewers, our faithful, commenters,
yes,
our faithful callers.
again, there's 1,001 podcasts going on out
Okay, he
there in the
want the number.
world. You're gonna get a chance to express that. That's my whole purpose on having this platform.
The number is 323-577-7630. 323-577-7630. He about to call in.
You guys, we also have on all the streaming sites, we have our shows, the previous shows. So you may not be able to see them live. We're working on putting them on our YouTube page, but we have up to episode 9 on our Apple site, on all the other streaming sites. So give us a holler back and let us know. other topics. And again, throughout the week, hit us up with the option or an idea of what you want to talk about so that way we can see it. Excuse me. 323-577-7630. And we got a
There
call
we go.
coming in. You're on the air with Agree to Disagree
What's
Talk.
what's going on?
Yo, it's Desi, man. What's going on, fellas?
What's up,
What's
brother?
up? How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. Love the show. Love what y'all doing. Keep it up.
Thank
Doing
you.
great work, man. Um, just responding a little bit to Chill's, she got a point. I'm coming from a dude that has 5 sisters. So, I grew up with a lot of the interpretation of men and women and feelings and all that stuff like that, man. What I will say is definitely about this generation, man. It seems like because of the mass amount of it's changed. It's changed definitely the last couple of years, but the mass amount of men that haven't grown up with a positive male role model, and they're brought up just by a mom or something like that. You get a lot more men that are in their feelings than you used to. I know me growing up, my father was always around, and I know all my family and family wise stuff like that. We all had a positive male role model in our life, even if one of my cousins didn't have a father. There was always somebody there. Nowadays, you get these men that they don't know how to be men, and it's you get dudes that do get caught in their feelings a lot more. At least from my take, that's what I take from this generation for sure. But I will say that it's hard to gauge your man, whoever or female, whoever you're talking to, in just a 5-minute or 10-minute conversation. I know a lot of men that act nice just to get in the draws, right? There's a lot of women that act nice just to get in the wallet.
Right.
I mean, that just happens. It takes a lifetime, not even a lifetime. It takes time to get to actually know somebody to know if they're genuine, right? To know if they're an actual genuine person. You usually don't get that in a 30-minute conversation.
Right.
So, like, to say that you can gauge someone, like who you're talking to, or whether somebody's nice or somebody's not nice, yeah, you can gauge the moment of something being nice, but it's a little bit harder to gauge someone's true personality and true feelings. You know what I mean? Without actually getting to know them as a human being, as a person.
Right.
And I think that region has a lot to do with it, right? I mean, if you go out into the hood, you're gonna find. We had this conversation. You go to the hood, you're gonna find a hood dude.
Right.
And that's
well, not necessarily, because
that's your audience.
I'm from the hood and I'm a different caliber of everything.
But see,
so-
that's our time. He
Right.
talking
Bro,
about today's time.
I'm from South Side Chicago, Inglewood, bro.
Right.
Inglewood, Marquette. That's where I'm
Oh,
from, brother.
we got Inglewood in
And
California that's
I'm-
hood.
Man, y'all suburbs.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
Inglewood out here,
I'm-
suburbs now.
But I'm a different breed too, and I
Right.
know that. You know what I mean? And I was blessed enough to have a father that knew better, and that knew to get me out of that situation, and a mother to get me out of that situation. And I was blessed enough to have family and to understand that I needed to be not like that. I didn't have to be like that because society told me I need to be like that. You know what I mean? Like that's not how I grew up.
Right. We
But
all
I
got
will say
choices.
in every single relationship that I've ever had, whether it's my wife, or rather it's my best friends, and I'll have a lot of like girlfriend best friends, and my wife is cool with that, and my wife was always is cool with that because the first thing I've ever done is introduce those people to my wife. There's been no secret at all in our relationship. It's been very open about who is my best friend, who's not my best friend. They come over, they eat. My wife cooks for them. It's a great. Me and my wife have such a great relationship, and I do the same thing. She has a lot of guy friends too.
Right.
So
Well, thank you,
in order
Desi,
for
for
our relationship to work, we have to trust each other.
right. Just
You know what I
in
mean?
general, as people, unfortunately, we are out of time. Thank you, Desi, again for tuning in
All right, man.
and
Yeah.
calling. Let's continue these conversations on the outside. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of time for this edition of Agree to Disagree Talk. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Have these conversations away from here. Start building these things, having these conversations in your circle. Again,
Good show, fellas.
thank you guys.
Thanks, brother.
Again, thank you guys again. This is Armond Anderson-Bell.
Yo, and I'm your boy Charles Jake Johnson. You can find me on my Instagram at C Jake Johnson. That's the letter C, Jake Johnson. If you're not following, follow now. You can find me on Facebook at Jake Technique Johnson. If you can't spell technique, Google it.
And I'm your host, Armond Anderson-Bell. You can find me on all social media, Armond, ARMOND, the number's 143. Like we like to leave on a positive note, my thought for the day is 86400. In any given day, there are 86,400 seconds. What are you doing with yours? Think about that.
And y'all know how I like to close on my segment, or my part. My saying is, make big problems small, make small problems non-existent. Stop fussing over everything, y'all.
Thank you guys. We out. Tune in. Hit us up with your questions and comments. See you guys next week.
Yep.
We out.